I was gonna say, like, just hunting in general, the protections that are there. There's a very small group of people that would want to eliminate hunting, and that'd probably be like vegans or the animal rights groups, which is understandable. I mean, you don't want to see an animal get hurt. Hunting does that.
Yeah, it's just kind of how you value conscious experience. Go back to our abortion episode.
Yes, that was a good episode too, though. But no, I mean, hunting's always going to be here. We're never going to get rid of that, and thus, I don't think we're ever going to get rid of guns for hunting. Now, they have seasons of all sorts for, well, to hunt deer. You can, like, the season starts at different intervals for the type of weapon you're going to use. There's the bow season, there's pistol season, there's muzzle loading season.
Wait,
And
really?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
it's really silly because if you want to hunt deer the longest, then you have to have this huge arsenal of weapons to try and like go get your buck, your 12-point buck.
Wow, I did not know that. I've always assumed that there's just a hunting season. You can just go hunting in hunting season.
Yeah, I mean, with deer, it's like that at least, and I don't know about turkeys and geese and all the others. Bears probably like that. And then in some states, you can't hunt with rifle. You have to use what's it called, a slug, like a deer slug, for example. Like in Indiana, you have to use a slug because rifle bullets travel very far over flat land, and well, Indiana's pretty flat.
That makes sense.
So I mean, there's safety precautions that are just built in there with the states regulating it for the safety of hunting.
I always get nervous if I'm visiting family or visiting like a friend or whatever. Sometimes if I find myself walking through the woods of their lands for whatever reason, I'm like, is this hunting? Are these hunting woods? Am I going to get shot? Like, I don't know.
Are you jumping through the woods like an antelope?
Well, I don't know. Like, I could see somebody not sure what they're looking at and shoot because they're just irresponsible.
Well, that is part of the problem. People like, oh, that's a big rustle, must be a deer, and just kind of shoot into the brush. Yeah, that's how a lot of people die.
Yeah. So that would bring me to my point of I think people should have training, and we should only be allowing people with reasonable mindsets to shoot guns.
Yeah, to get your like a deer tag, for example, I don't know if you have to prove going through a hunting class or if it's just an option in Indiana, but they have classes on like hunting safety and things like that.
I definitely see it as a responsibility.
Absolutely, especially if you're hunting with multiple people, like in a group. Who was it that got shot in the face? Dick Cheney?
No, Dick Cheney shot a guy in the face.
Oh, he shot a guy in the face. Oh, other way around.
Yeah.
Which may or may not have been on purpose.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was legitimately an accident.
Yeah, I mean, safety is a huge thing. Like when you're walking through the woods, you can trip, stuff happens. But getting back to the regulation side of it, the states are in charge of the safety of their hunters in the state. Like Indiana being flat, you got to use the slugs. So in that regard, the states controlling the gun issue there is, I think, appropriate. And each state being their own individuals should be respected in that.
I would agree that in this case, that makes sense. Like, the state should be in charge of hunting. Now, I don't know if I agree on every other point, and I'll explain why shortly. But like for example, if we're going to talk about like personal protection, I might disagree with you. But yeah, I would definitely agree in terms of hunting because you're right. Yeah, every state has its own topography and different environment, different species, and so that might change how they want to do hunting in their land.